Have you ever imagined a world where you no longer just look at the internet through a screen, but actually step inside it? A world where you don't open apps anymore, but instead, you walk into them. Where distance no longer matters. Where the physical body is no longer a limitation. And where your digital self can feel just as real as the physical world you live in today. This is what people call the metaverse, a concept described as the next evolution of the internet, and at the same time, one of the most ambitious, fascinating, and controversial ideas in modern technology. But what exactly is the metaverse? Is it real? Is it truly coming? Or is it just a futuristic dream that sounds too big to ever fully exist? To understand it, we first need to forget how we experience the internet today. Because right now, the internet is something we look at. We open apps on our phones. We scroll through social media. We watch videos. We read text. We click buttons. But in all of this, one thing remains the same. We are always outside of it. We interact with digital content, but we are never truly inside it. The metaverse tries to change that completely. Instead of you looking at the digital world, you are inside the digital world. Imagine wearing a headset. It powers on, and within seconds, your physical surroundings begin to disappear. The walls of your room fade away. Your desk, your chair, your screen, everything vanishes. And suddenly, you are somewhere else entirely. A fully digital, three-dimensional world surrounding you. You can look around, you can walk, you can interact, and you can meet other people who may be thousands of kilometers away, yet feel like they are standing right next to you. This is the core idea of the metaverse, an immersive virtual space, a digital world that is not just observed, but experienced. But the metaverse is not just about VR headsets or virtual environments. It is a combination of multiple technologies working together. Virtual reality, VR. Augmented reality, AR. High-speed internet infrastructure. Artificial intelligence. 3D graphics rendering. And massive network systems capable of connecting millions of people in the same shared digital space. If today's internet is made of pages we visit, then the metaverse is imagined as worlds we enter. But behind this big idea lies a deeper question. Why does the metaverse exist in the first place? The answer is surprisingly simple, yet deeply human. Because humans have always wanted presence. Not just communication, not just messages, not just video calls, but the feeling of actually being with someone. When you talk to someone over video call, you can see their face, but you do not share the same space. There is no real sense of presence, no shared environment. The metaverse tries to bridge that gap. It aims to create the illusion, or perhaps the evolution, of human presence in digital space. But the deeper we go into this idea, the more complex it becomes. Because the metaverse is not just about gaming or virtual worlds. It is about economy, about work, about identity, about society itself. Imagine one day you are no longer just working from home, but working from a virtual office. You put on a digital avatar, enter a virtual meeting room, and interact with colleagues from all over the world as if you were physically together. Or imagine attending a concert, not by watching a screen, but by standing inside a virtual crowd, seeing the stage up close, and feeling immersed in the atmosphere. Or even learning inside a virtual classroom, where you can step inside a human body to study anatomy, or walk through historical events as if you are really there. All of this sounds like science fiction, but the foundations already exist today. Virtual reality is already used in military training, medical simulations, and education. Augmented reality already exists in smartphones. Online games already host massive virtual worlds, with millions of players interacting simultaneously. So the question is no longer, is it possible? But rather, how far will it go? However, like every major technological revolution, the metaverse comes with challenges. One of the biggest is the technology itself. To create a fully immersive and realistic digital world, we need extremely powerful graphics, ultra-fast internet, and comfortable wearable devices that can be used for long periods. Right now, all of that is still developing. VR headsets can still feel heavy. Motion sickness is still a problem for some users. And virtual environments are not yet realistic enough to fully replace physical reality. But technical challenges are only part of the story. There are also social challenges. If humans spend more time in virtual worlds, what happens to the real world? Do we become more connected or more isolated? Does the metaverse enhance human relationships or replace real interaction with digital versions of it? Then there is the question of identity. In the metaverse, you do not have to be your real self. You can create an avatar. You can change your appearance. You can even become someone completely different. But if everyone can become anyone, what does identity even mean anymore? And then there is the economic question. The metaverse is not just a social space. It is also a digital economy. There will be virtual goods, digital land, avatar clothing, virtual events, and even jobs that exist entirely inside virtual worlds. This creates an entirely new economy that has never existed before. But who controls it? Who owns these virtual worlds? And how are the rules enforced? Because unlike the real world, digital worlds are built and governed by technology companies, meaning those who own the platform control the world itself. This raises concerns about power, privacy, and digital ownership. But despite all these questions and uncertainties, one thing is clear. The metaverse is not just a passing trend. It is part of the evolution of how humans interact with technology. Just like the early internet, just like the first smartphones. At first, it always feels exaggerated, too far away, too futuristic. But over time, what once seemed impossible becomes part of everyday life. The real question is no longer whether the metaverse will exist, but what form it will take. Will it become a second digital world for humanity, or just an extension of the internet we already know? Will it become a place for work, entertainment, education, and social life, or remain a technological experiment that never fully replaces reality? And most importantly, will it bring humans closer together, or create a new kind of distance we have never experienced before? Because in the end, the metaverse is not just about technology. It is about humanity itself, about how we choose to live in the future, about how we define reality, and about how far we are willing to go into the worlds we create ourselves.